Well, the first person in, or the first problem in last night's homework is the one a lot of people had a lot of problems with. So let's kind of go through what's going on with that. We're asked to evaluate the expression 4x cubed minus 7 over 3 times the square root of y plus z when x is 3, y is 225, and z is 64. Well, the first part of this is pretty straightforward. We simply replace, oopsie, I gotta get the pen on. We simply replace, let me make the pen bigger too. One more time, we simply replace, there we go. The x with 3 and the y with 225 and the z with 64. All right, and then in order to what to do next, we have to remember our order of operations. And the mnemonic for remembering our order of operations is PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And so the P stands for, the first thing we always deal with is, hey, what's in parentheses? And that's going to be true of any other grouping symbol among them. We have a couple that aren't parentheses but look like them. One is the square root symbol, groups things. So things under the square root have got to be grouped together. The second thing is the division bar, groups things. So everything on top of the division bar is done separately, then everything under the bottom of the division bar is done separately, and then only after those things have been done separately do you finally do this division. The next step, the E stands for exponents. And so there's one exponent to actually deal with here. The M stands for multiplication and the D stands for division. The one thing people sometimes confuse this M and D, hey, to make them mnemonic we had to put them in some order. But the fact is the multiplication and division are tied in order. So you do multiplications and divisions from left to right. Same thing with addition and subtraction. Addition and subtraction are tied. We do the additions and subtractions from left to right. So now that we've recalled the order of operations, let's go to it, okay? So our parentheses say to do that the top and bottom are grouped as if they are in parentheses. Numerator and denominator are grouped as if they're in parentheses. So we got to take care of those separately before doing the actual division. Okay, the other thing that acts as parentheses is this square root symbol right down here. So let's do what's grouped together by that square root symbol. 225 plus 64 is 289. And then we can continue to write 4 times 3 cubed minus 7. Okay, the next thing we deal with are the exponents. 3 cubed is an exponent here. That's an exponential expression. And by the way, we got to contrast 4 times 3 cubed. That means we take 3 and cube it, then multiply by 4. This is what means take 4 times 3 and cube it. So without the expression, you're just raising to the power only the variable right below. Okay, so we got 4 times 3 cubed is 4 times 27 minus 7 over, and square root we're going to learn later is roughly the equivalent of an exponent. It's the equivalent of raising something to the 1/2 power, so we can take care of that exponent right now too. That's 17. Now we're down to where there's multiplication and division from left to right. Well, there's only multiplication, and they all happen to be the first expression in each of the two pieces that we've grouped together. So 4 times 27 is 108. And 3 times 17 is 51. And finally, we do our addition and subtraction from left to right. There's only one. 108 minus 7 is 101. 51. is our denominator. Now we know that factoring the denominator is going to be easier. We only know it's 3 and 7, or 3 and 17 are the only factors we know, and those are prime factors. So 3 is not a factor of 101. We know that because the digits don't add up to 3. And 17 isn't a factor of 101. And I know that just because, well, you can try dividing 101 by 17, see if it works. Doesn't make a nice round number. So there's not going to be any cancellation we can do. So this last step of doing the division after we've taken care of everything inside these virtual parentheses, there's no cancellation of common factors we need to do. At this point, we are done. It may take a couple of similar exercises practice to get back into the habit of doing these pretty consistently right, but you'll want to make a point of getting there.